Hi guys, welcome to Dr. GSR Chemistry Academy. It's all about chemistry from basic to branches. Every successful reaction needs activation energy. To run my channel successfully, I also required activation energy in the form of your support. So I request please support me. Thank you one and all in advance. Let us start today's topic. Actually, it is not come as a specific topic in any syllabus, but it appears in every topic, and it is the most important basic concept in chemistry, and the name is stability and reactivity. Start our topic with why. After watching this video, you are able to understand the all the following whys, and most importantly, you come to know importance of relationships. So in this chapter, why do some elements exist in molecules while others exist as atoms? Why do some atoms form ionic bonds and some forms covalent bonds? So why pure metals are not naturally available and they are available as their ores? Why some reactions occur spontaneously but some are not? And finally, why the nitrogen gas is not affecting us during the respiration process, and so on. So what is stability? The state of being resistance to change is called stability of a object. And what is reactivity? The ease of involved in a reaction is called reactivity of a compound in chemical term. On the screen, you can able to see different figures and they are trying to tell something. The water H2O can able to exist in three states, but it is stable as liquid at room temperature. Either to convert gas or solid, we have to give energy. Means to vaporize water, it required heat energy. To condense water, we need to arrange H2O molecule in highly ordered arrangement. It also consumes energy. The red ball on the top of the green hill is not a stable one comparatively the other red ball which is at bottom of the hill. The mental stability of married person and a bachelor are quite different. When a married person want to cross a road or ride a bike on the road, he will think twice before he do that thing. He had responsibility. He was think stability. But we all are witnessed a bachelor or young students can ride bike harshly. They can ride bike chatting, talking and playing with games also. Sometimes they cross the road without thinking, without seeing both sides. So the stability levels are quite different. From all these points, matter including us continuously involved in changing. That means matter mean the object which have specific volume and mass is called matter. In simple word, what around us and also including us come under the matter. So matter is not stable at all. So continuously it is changing one form to another form. If there is no change in the matter, there is no chemistry. Okay, and also from this slide we can understand every object in the universe wants to be stable. Stability will come. For human beings, stability come from knowledge and from their experience. These guide us what is good, what is bad, what has to do, what not to do. You can see a person showing his arrogance on someone. At this situation he is not in stable mode. But after shouting, after losing his temper, he will become cool and composed. That is, when he loses energy in the form of shouting, he becomes stable. And also, by practicing yoga, also we can keep our mind in a peaceful state by avoiding sudden fluctuations. However, human mind is a unstable monkey. In a single day or single hour, our mental state involved in many transformations. Sometimes we are in high pleasant mode, sometimes in depression, sometimes overexcited or overtensioned, sometimes experiencing very bored. Whatever it is, the emotions in that we are not stable at all. Then how we come to stable state? So take an example, if you won a gold medal in Olympics. Suppose no one around you to congratulate of your achievement. How you can feel? You are the most unhappy situation in that and makes you very unstable. Whatever the emotion, we always share it to available around people. By sharing our emotions, we will stabilize it. Sharing to someone is only possible when you are relationship with them. Family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, like these relations, every day we are maintaining to share our energy to become stabilized. The most important thing in the world is family and love. When you are making love and making forming family, you are always stabilized over your tensions and your anxieties. So the bonds between atoms are just like the relations between humans. So let's have a look into atoms and molecules. The noble gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, are exist as monoatomic gases, but hydrogen, nitrogen, fluorine, oxygen, chlorine, bromine, these are exist as a diatomic gases, and some compounds exist as tetraatomic and more on. Okay, so this can be explained by considering their electronic configuration corresponding of atoms. So consider neon. So you can see the neon atomic structure in the left side of this slide. It has totally um, 10 electrons. The configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That means second orbital is the valency orbital. Valency orbital means the outermost shell with electrons. That means it is just like a border of that neon atom. So that is the second is the valency shell. It is completely filled. So it can accommodate 8 electrons and it is completely filled. Okay, so now neon is no need to interact with the others. Why? Because it is completely filled. It is neither give electron nor take electron from someone. That's why it is not interesting to interact with anyone. It stay as isolated and it is available as a monoatomic molecule. But in the case of oxygen, you can see right side. So the electronic configuration of oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. The second orbital is the valency orbital. It has only 6 electrons, but it can accommodate 8 electrons. But there is a short of 2 electrons. Now what happened? So now it requires 2 electrons to get octet configuration, right? To attain this stable configuration, it interacts with the other oxygen atom. So other oxygen atom means it also having 6 electrons in the valency shell. Now, one oxygen atom shares 2 electrons with the second oxygen atom. Then the second oxygen atom also shares 2 electrons with the first one. So now two atoms, each atom contributing 2 electrons, and like that totally 4 electrons are shared between the two atoms. So then here you can see already 4 electrons in the shell, 2 electrons involving sharing, totally 4 electrons in the sharing. So 4 plus 4 become 8. So when the oxygen interact with the another oxygen atom, so they totally shares 4 electron, each one contributes 2 electron, finally they get octet rule. So like that, when the oxygen atom interact with the other only it gets stabilized. Okay, so my question is, why octet configuration is stable one? Why 8 electron is stable one? So you can see middle there is a security guards in the border. If a country with the safe borders only exist as a stable one. So just like valence shell is nothing but a border of that atom. So if our borders are fully equipped with the humans, like that means soldiers, it is a stable one. Like that, atoms also whenever these uh, valency orbitals it is fully filled, they are become stable. Why do some compounds are ionic in nature and some are covalent in nature? If we go through the criteria for making ionic or covalent bonds, electronegativity, electropositivity, ionization energy, ionic radius, polar, non-polar, metal, non-metals, all these topic will come across you. But behind all these factors, the driving force is stability. So for example, NaF or NaCl is an ionic compound, but HCl is a covalent compound. It can be explained in terms of stability. So for example, take example sodium fluoride molecule. So sodium atom has 11 electrons totally, and valency orbital is third orbital has only one electron. If it is loses that one electron, then second orbital become as valency orbital and it is fully filled with 8 electrons. Become Na plus get stability. That means when sodium loses one electron, it become Na plus. Now Na plus valency shell is second orbital. It is completely filled with 8 electrons. Now it gets stabilized. So if you observe the fluorine atom has 9 electrons totally. Valency orbital is second orbital has 7 electrons. To get octet configuration, it requires one electron. By taking one electron, by accepting one electron, it becomes F minus and its valency shell is fulfilled. So hence sodium and fluorine comes closer. Sodium loses electron. That electron is accepted by fluorine and make bond between sodium and fluorine. The bond is resulting of transferring of electron called ionic bond. So this is the how sodium fluorine bond is forming by sharing electrons. If you observe the HCl molecule, hydrogen has only one electron, its valency shell. Hydrogen has only one shell, one s, so it can accommodate only two electrons. So already one electron is there. So to get stability, it's required one more electron, right? So if you observe the chlorine has 17 electrons totally, and third orbital is the valency shell. The valency shell contains again 7 electrons. It is also required one more electron to get octet configuration. So this is very different situation compared to NaF. Here sodium and fluorine both are required each electron. Now what they do, they understand each other and they are mutually sharing each one electron to others. Then hydrogen gets 2 electrons and chlorine gets 8 electrons. The bond made between the HCl because of sharing electrons. So here sharing or transferring both are occurs because to get a stable configuration. In the case of sodium chloride, electrons are transferred because of to get Na plus and Fa minus stable configuration. In the case of HCl, electrons are shared between two atoms because of to get stable configuration of hydrogen and chlorine atomic level. Why metals occurs in its ore form? Except gold and platinum, almost all metals naturally available in their ore form. For example, iron is extracted from the hematite ore, that is Fe2O3, aluminium from bauxite ore, copper from malachite ore. So iron, aluminium, copper, like this, so many transition elements are not available in their purest form on the earth crust. They are immediately interact with the available oxidizing atmosphere. They forms oxides, carbonates, nitrates. So like that, whatever available around us, they interact with them, forms a oxidative compounds. Okay. So for example, iron means iron atom means if it is in the zero state, Fe0 is called metallic iron. So if metallic iron keep outside, it immediately interact with the oxygen or moisture or acidic atmosphere. It forms a corresponding metal oxides or metal carbonates or metal chlorides, whatever available corresponding available atmosphere, it forms a different compounds. That means it is involved in corrosion, the self destruction of metal from its surface by interacting with the available corrosive atmosphere is called corrosion. Okay, so why these are reactive, why these are not stable as their metallic state, why they are immediately forming a wars. So consider iron. Iron atomic number is 26 and configuration is electronic configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p6. 3s2 3p6 4s2 3d6. You can see the electronic configuration in the screen on the screen. So here valence shell is fourth valence shell. It is incomplete one. It has two electrons, and also the next to valence shell towards the nucleus also a vacant one. It is not completely filled. So all these transition metals, not only valence shell, they have a vacant d orbitals. Because of this, they are most active. They are not filled. They are not completely filled. They are able to either give or accept electrons. That's why they are very reactive. Immediately they forms oxides if it is interact with the oxygen. They forms carbonates if they are interact with the carbon dioxide. Like that, whatever surround them, they are immediately interacts with them, forms corresponding corrosive products. So hence iron is interacts with available oxidizing agents and undergo oxidation involved in corrosion and destroyed. That's why if we keep iron rod outside, then it is exposed to atmosphere and involved in corrosion. If we made a continuous protective layer on the surface of the iron, then we prevent corrosion by cutting interaction between iron and atmosphere. Just like students also is just like metals, they are very reactive and interact with the available atmosphere. Unfortunately, nowadays the students are surrounded by bad atmosphere. A teacher can prevent student destruction by act as a protective surface layer. That's why teachers should take initiative to interact with the students before students interact with the bad atmosphere. So next one, why nitrogen gas is not affecting us during respiration process. So we are breathing air, not only oxygen. Air is composed with nitrogen along with oxygen. Of course, nitrogen is the major constituent present in the air. When we breathe in the air, lungs pumps up O2 into the blood, then it is converted to CO2 by biological reactions in our body. That means the oxygen interact with the carbohydrates and they break the carbohydrates. They form energy. That energy used for different activities, which are we are doing every day. So in this process, oxygen converting into CO2, that CO2 comes out in the breathe out process. But what about nitrogen? Why nitrogen is not interacting with the blood just like oxygen? If you observe the bonding between oxygen atoms and nitrogen atoms in the O2 and nitrogen compound. So oxygen connected with double bond, nitrogen connected with triple bond. If the nitrogen make if two nitrogen atoms share 6 electron from each contributes 3 electron, it gains a octet configuration. It gains a stable configuration. That's why it forms triple bond. But oxygen by forming double bond it gets octet rule. That's why oxygen is a double bonded molecule, nitrogen is a triple bonded molecule. So we already discussed, when you are sharing your energy, when you are making bond with others, you are get stability and you loses energy. The extent of stability depending on the extent of sharing. So nitrogen making 3 bonds with other nitrogen is most stablest than the oxygen. Sometimes nitrogen also called inert gas. So actually it is not an inert element, but it's because of this reactivity, because of its low reactivity and high stability, it is considered as a nitrogen. The nitrogen in the biological system doesn't interact with the anyone, so it will not affect us in any aspect. So for example, during the thunderstorms, so the light energy can break, that much light energy can break the nitrogen and nitrogen bond, and it fix the nitrogen in the earth, so earth crust, and it is used as a source for the planet growth. Spontaneity and non-spontaneity. Why some reactions are spontaneously occurs, some are non-spontaneous. To explain this, consider reaction coordinates for a reaction between reactants to products. The starting materials are called reactants, then final objects are called products. The first one, if you see the reaction coordinate, the left side on the screen, so energy of the reactants are higher than the products, means reactants are less stable than the final products. So our starting materials are less reactant than the final obtaining products. So because of less stable means higher energy, they are easily converting into stable final products. And the higher energy, the reactants are having a higher energy than the products. That higher energy released in the form of heat. If it is released in the form of heat, then the reaction is called exothermic reaction. So a reaction is spontaneous because of reactants have higher energy. That's why they are easily converting into products. In the second case, right side on the screen, you can see the endothermic reaction. Here, the energy of the reactants, so here not mentioned here. Here, the energy of reactants is lower than the products. That means reactants are more stable compared to the products. So why? Now, why? What is the need to convert a stable one into unstable one? So that's why the reaction is not happened. But when you applied more energy, then the reactants are converting into products. That's mean in the endothermic reaction you need to required give energy to the reactants, then only it will converting into products. That's mean it is not a spontaneous reaction. But in the case of spontaneous exothermic reaction, the reaction takes place and it produces energy. In the endothermic reaction, it consumes the energy. That means that is a spontaneous reaction, and this is non-spontaneous reaction. That's mean in from this point you can observe when a stable compound by giving energy we can convert it. Okay, it is already stable, but you want a desire. It is not your desired product. You require something other. So then you can give energy, you can destroy the stability of the molecule and you can convert it into your desired product even though it is unstable one. Okay, that's mean energy creates instability. So who's lose energy, they will become stable. They will become stable. So from this all these topics we can conclude one thing: every object in the universe wants to be stable. Everyone wants to be stable, including us. The best way to get stability is lowering their energy through making bonds with others, either it is atoms or humans. When you are in bonding, when you are trying to making bonding, only one the reason to get stability. The best way to get stability is making bond with others. So, oh, my friends who are making me stable, I am thanking you to all of them and I'm signing off. This is a today topic and please encourage me. Thank you.